Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Roots of Life podcast. Jimmy, this is something totally new.
Completely different.
For everyone, not just ourselves, but for the audience as well.
Yeah.
So we've got some video going up in the corner there. We are not in the studio, and you are not in your living room today.
I'm not.
Or in your
spare
space.
room,
wherever you do your thing. You came down to visit.
Yeah.
You drove down today.
Yeah.
How was the drive?
Snowy, but fine. It was fine.
Yeah. Yeah, the Coquihalla. You usually expect snow around, especially at this time of year.
It was there was a car crash they were cleaning up that I drove past. I think that happened last time too, that I was on my way here.
It always happens.
There's always one every day, pretty
Totally.
much. It was closed yesterday for some avalanche control, but today was fine.
You got here safe and sound.
I did. It was fine.
I know. I didn't hear from you for a while, and then I sent you another text. I was like, "Are you alive?" And that was why I was.
Did you die?
Yeah, I didn't. It's the last thing, you know.
Oh, yeah, because
the
the last
Coquihalla.
thing I said was that I was leaving hope or something.
Yeah. So after you said that, I was like, okay, he made it over the highway. We're good.
Yeah.
You know, cool. Because I worry. I'm like a single mother. I cook and clean.
I do so much for you.
I do what I can, okay? So this is another episode of the Roots of Life podcast. Who knows what episode this is going to be?
I don't know.
We really just
kind
got
of
together.
decided on a name, but we're not even sure.
We're going to call this the Drunkcast 2.0 to start.
Yeah.
Because, one, we have beer.
We are drinking.
And
we don't usually drink.
No, not
during
usually.
our podcast.
Unless it's the Drunkcast.
Unless it's the Drunkcast.
Exactly. So that's awesome. Tell me and the listeners what Mad Gab is, because we're going to get into it, and I don't know the rules that well. So
we're kind of going to make our own little house rules, because the rules kind of, you need like a team. We're going to turn it into a drinking game, because it's the Drunkcast. So you get a card, and on the card it has some words. For example, this one says doll, arson, since. Now, the point of the game is the reader has to read these, and usually you end up having to read it faster than you normally would, and they end up saying something else. So, doll, arson, cents. Doll, arson, cents. Dollars and cents. Yeah. So, the way we're going to do this is if you don't get it by the end of this fancy, annoying timer that everybody's going to hear, unless you don't want them to. It might be loud.
Can we use a timer? Like,
we can use a different timer.
Yeah. Can we use an iPhone timer?
Yeah, you can do
because
you can give it like a minute. If you don't get it in a minute, we'll drink. Kind of thing.
Okay.
Cool.
In a minute, that seems like a lot.
That seems like a lot.
Maybe not.
We'll start with a minute. We'll see how it goes. If it's too easy, and we're not drinking
I don't
enough.
think I'm going to do very well at this game, regardless of how much time you give me.
There is something I think orange is hard, blue is easy. Could be the other way.
So I get a handicap, right? I get blue?
I'll be doing orange.
Perfect.
So it'll be easier.
Just like in life.
I'm actually pretty good at this one. I really like this game.
Okay. Yeah. So for all of you that have played Mad Gab, don't make fun of me. Because Jimmy's probably really good. Everybody else is probably really good. My English skills aren't that great. I'm not a very good writer, grammatically. I like to do creative writing.
You do pretty well at the creative writing.
I just splurt out a bunch of stuff, and then I kind of just...
That's all you need.
And I just reword it over and over and over and over until it sounds and looks appeasing to me.
Yeah.
Until I think it's like, okay, that looks like... I think somebody else will be able to read that and comprehend it in a way that'll make sense.
What I was trying to get across.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how this goes.
Okay.
I'm going to pull the first card.
Okay.
And then, so I read the funny side, like the weird one.
Yeah, you read them. I think you should go with blue, though, not the orange. I think blue is easy.
So I'm trying to guess.
Yeah, you're trying to guess what the word is.
Right.
So,
as best as I can.
Is it?
Yeah. Asbestos hike and.
There you
as
go.
best as I can.
Yeah, there you go. And then it's on the other side on the top there, so you just like flip it that way.
As best as I can.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
see, I think you'll think it'll be okay.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, this card on this side, you pull from this side.
Pull from that side?
Yeah.
Oh, and then
Draw,
we throw it in there. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Makes it easy.
That's pretty easy. So, there's no real, like, progression of the game.
No, it's kind of just like, we're just going to do this because it sounds cool.
Totally.
And I thought that would be a good game to bring if we're doing a podcast.
Yeah, and just so that everybody else knows, we came into this more just for the aspect of doing the show and hanging out. We didn't really have a topic today. We're not going with the usual format of the show, especially with the new format of the show that we've created. We're, I guess, breaking line from that very quickly.
Tried something different.
Yeah, but I guess it was creative for us in a way.
Yeah.
You know, we got to break everything out, set things up.
We get to hang out, we get to drink beer, we get to play a game.
And in a way that hopefully will be everybody will like. Hopefully, like you said, like it's kind of an audible game. We get to talk and we get to say silly shit.
Exactly.
And so hopefully we sound like idiots to everyone else and they get a laugh out of it.
Exactly. Hopefully the listeners get it before we do. That's kind of what I was hoping, that they'd be like, I know what it is.
Totally.
You suck. Get it. But
let's try this guy.
Try it?
Yeah, let's try it out. See what happens.
Alright, should I go?
Yeah.
Okay. Freeze age ha, leak hood fell out.
Wow.
Freeze age ha. Freeze age ha, leak hood fell out. Oh? Oh. Freeze age ha, leak hood fellow. Freeze age ha, leak hood fellow. Freeze age ha, leak hood fellow.
A freezing leaky fellow?
Freeze age ha, leaky fellow. Leak hood fellow. Freeze age ha, leak hood fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow.
Oh, damn!
Yeah.
That was crazy.
For he's a jolly good fellow.
I had no idea what was going on there. How to stop this?
You just hit that.
Okay. It's just the left and right.
Yeah.
And then, so where do you put it?
I would usually put it on expert when I do it.
And then what is it? So like you put, and you only have so much time.
It's just shorter.
Right.
Yeah.
I see. Well, average.
I'm a gangster.
You're gangster.
We're gangster.
Gee, damn.
Those sounds, they just click.
Oh man, that's crazy.
That one was hard. I don't think I've done that one before.
That one, that was intense. I had no idea what direction that was leading in whatsoever.
I knew fellow at the end there, but that was...
For he's a jolly good fellow.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like that.
Cool.
My favorite one of all times isn't actually in this game.
Then how did you get it?
What?
Then how did you get the all-time favorite one?
I got it from my parents. It's what they'd always do to start the game off with their friends when they were like doing drinking or whatever. What is it? We, Todd, did. Sofa, King. We, Todd, did. So if you say it fast...
I'm so fucking retarded.
Yeah. So they get one of their friends to say that, and then they pull out the game and play it.
Right. That's a good one.
I think it's funny.
I mean, it's funny.
I mean,
some people probably find it really degrading.
Yeah, it's definitely not PG. Terrible. I mean, this was years ago too.
I can definitely see the parents pulling that out with and just having 3 bottles of wine on the table and every parent, I could see moms having just their giant glass of red wine and laughing at their friends. This is it's totally something my mom would do. Yeah. My mom's totally the mom who gets together with her girlfriends and they make my mom will make a penis cake and they'll do shots out of cakes made of tits and stuff.
That's awesome.
And just the most ridiculous stuff. My mom got a game for Christmas this year when I went home and she wanted to play it, and basically all the game is it's like a hand that you pull back and you press a button, and I think everybody goes through and presses if there's 4 people, one person presses the button, another person presses the button, and all you do is you press the button and you have to put your face in front of the thing and you put whipped cream in the thing and it just comes up and hits you in the hand. It's such a pointless game.
Yeah.
But of course it's such a mom game. My mom loves it.
I feel like your mom's just a prankster, deep down. Always wants to be pranking people.
Yeah, my mom. Yeah, she's young at heart. You know, she always wants to. She's always having fun. Yeah. She doesn't drink a ton, really. She's never really been much of a drinker, but she loves to bake, and that's where she goes out to her girlfriends, and they. just do things like play silly games like that. And my mom's always saying silly jokes or whatever, but it's always really funny.
Saying silly jokes or whatever. That's such a teenage thing. Yeah, my mom thinks she's so funny.
Yeah, totally. My mom's awesome though. She used to bring me like snacks when I was super big. We would be sitting in my room baked out of our minds, and my mom would just be like,
just,
"You guys want snacks?"
Stuff,
and it'd be like a platter with like
delicious
meat and cheese
stuff,
and crackers, and
like hook you
Mom, what are you doing? You're
like, thank you for being awesome.
Yeah, not giving me a hard time for being
Yeah,
stoned.
never.
She usually teased me about it.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "You're such a stoner," and I'd be like, "Yeah."
Yeah, it was always great because we could go for a walk, get baked, and we always knew we could go to your house and like just chill. And nobody would bug us. Yeah, like, it'd be fine.
I'm pretty sure we went to your house a couple times.
There was a couple times, but it was like we walked in and we're like, "Hi, we're gonna go play games," and like went to my room.
Just
like,
beeline to the bedroom, don't come out.
And like then they were like, they'd ask me like a day or two later on that day.
Are you smoking weed with Taylor?
Are you smoking weed with Taylor? No, we don't do that. No.
That was one thing growing up, is parents always accused me of being the reason that their child was doing whatever they were doing.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I remember when we got drunk at Keely's one time and her dad found out, and her dad said, "You shouldn't be drinking Taylor's booze," and your daughter's drinking and you're blaming me for it?
That's so funny.
Yeah, and
I know, like, we would all, like, most of the time we'd send the girls to go get it for us because they could get it easier.
Yeah, that's fair.
Often, like,
totally makes sense.
Like, here's money, we need this, and then the girls would go and like get somebody to boot for them. Like, we do it sometimes as well, but it would always take like an hour to find the event. Well,
yeah,
not always,
I never
had
a while. A big brother, or like someone that I could easily ask. I remember when I was 17.
Like a liquor store.
Yeah, I remember befriending Cody Penner, and when I was 17, he was old enough at the time, so I guess at that point my life became easier. But the younger years, like 15, 16,
Yeah.
But I don't even think I was drinking much at that time.
I wasn't drinking much. I remember we used to drink like OE and like just random shit.
40s of OE.
40s of OE.
6 packs of Colt 45.
Yeah.
You get drunk, 6 beers of like, are they 8% beer?
I think so.
Yeah, 8% beer, 6-pack of those for $9.50. You hammer.
I think we moved up to like Budweiser, and we were like, "Oh, this is amazing."
I remember
I can't even
Chad Bedard.
Yeah.
Bedard, is that how you say his last name?
Yeah.
I remember one time I asked him to boot for me, and I gave him a $10 bill. I was like, "Give me a 6-pack of Colt 45," and he came back with a 6-pack of Budweiser. He was like, "Don't ever ask me to buy you Colt 45 ever again." He was like, "Drink actual beer." And I was
That's so funny.
Okay, thanks, Chad. Like, whatever, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Alright.
I think we're just gonna be drinking.
Yeah, whatever.
Fuck the rules.
Let's see. Ride out the storm. Ride out the storm?
Yeah.
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 I killed it.
You did.
Yeah, that was really easy.
As soon as you said it the first time, I was like, I got that.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah.
I know it.
I feel that, like you just said, we're not going to be drinking part of the game.
Yeah, it's just going to end up with just drinking.
Totally.
Yeah.
We'll just kick it.
Yeah, the other day, I was at home. It was just before Ashley left for Mexico. We had like a few friends over. I think that's where it was. But anyways, we were getting drunk, and I just kept like, we were doing something that required like spelling or words in some
sort of game?
Yeah, some sort of game, I think. And I just kept like, I got so like belligerent in a way, like just obnoxious. Like anytime anybody had to spell something, I'd be like, I know how to spell that. And like, if they messed up, I just blurted out. I didn't care about the rules. If they fucked up, I'd be like, bam, got you. And I was just like super obnoxious about it. I felt bad later, but at the time I was just like, I can spell. But this comes from like, when I was a kid, I would, like, I think John Gross. Yeah, Jonathan Gross. he was the one who always had like the highest marks on the spelling test. I was thinking it might have been John Sketchley, but I'm pretty sure he didn't have the highest marks on the spelling tests.
John was a writer. John used to write stories and stuff when we were kids, I remember, but
yeah, I think I was always like trying to be better than Jonathan.
Yeah.
And it was just like
I was always trying to be better than John.
Yeah.
That was always the one.
I always remember that.
If I could strive to be better than him,
yeah.
then I knew I was doing something right.
Yeah.
Probably not a healthy competition at the time.
And I was always like a few marks lower than him. I'd always mess up something. I was so mad because he'd always get it. I'm like, God, and now I just get those like competitive spellings like deep within me when I get drunk or something.
For sure. I remember we used to do the time tests where you would have a minute to do as many like multiplication questions. They were always super easy ones, but you could try and do 30 of them in a minute or whatever it was.
I was never fast at those back then.
I always remember battling with John on those.
Yeah.
And it was always so close to us though.
Yeah.
It was always 1 or 2 off. One of us would beat one by 1 or whatever it was, but we were always like neck and neck on them.
Yeah, I think like now, like obviously now it would be so super easy, but like I can just do all this stuff in my head. Before I would be like counting on my fingers. Like when I got to high school though, like math really clicked and I could figure it out. It was super easy, but
I was the opposite.
Back then it was like
academics was my jam in
slow.
Elementary school.
Yeah.
And then once I hit high school, it was all like out the window.
Man, I used to like skip recess and like do my homework so that like after school I could do like fun shit.
I always remember
like,
we would play football after school, and then I would have to go and do a paper route, and I would hate it. I hated it so much. I had a paper route too. It was the worst. I remember doing a paper route with you sometimes.
Yeah. There was one time I did it in the snow in like shorts and a t-shirt.
What? Only a 13-year-old would go do a paper route in the snow in
shorts and a t-shirt. Like I think about that sometimes. I'm like, why? Like, why didn't I just wear more clothes? Why? Like, yeah, just doesn't make sense. But man, around Christmas time, we used to make like hella money doing that. Because people just like give me cards with like $5 in it.
No way.
It was so great. Yeah. I loved it. There was probably like 10 houses that were like...
They knew
and they would always like, yeah. And there was one house like this girl lived at, and she would just like give me hot chocolate and stuff too. So it was pretty sweet.
You're killing it. You were a hustler.
I was killing that paper route. I had some scary houses though, man. There was one house like, I mean like now I wouldn't be as afraid because I wouldn't be like, oh, this person's super scary. But there's this person in one of the houses that didn't have like a nose. It was kind of just like a hole.
A person didn't have a nose?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was so freaky, and like the house next to them, I felt like the stairs were rotting, and like I fell through one of them almost, like, and like none of the guys' cats had tails, and it was just like super freaky and like just decrepit, and then like the house this was down just off of Victoria Road, and there was like 3 houses in this little spot. It was like a dirt road down to it, and then the house on those 2 were like next to each other, and then on the other side of the street was this house that had like these super big scary dogs that would just like run at me and like just get to the end of the driveway. Were they
actually big scary dogs or
I was 13, so like yes.
so no.
Yeah, so I could never get to their house. So like the whole situation down there was just the worst, and honestly, I probably skipped their house every other week.
Right.
It was just like, yeah, no, I'm not doing it today. I just can't. I can't do this.
Next thing you know, they're calling the Daily Bulletin. Yeah. Where is my newspaper?
I know. I mean, like, the lady was super nice, but, like, I was 13 and I was, like, just afraid. Like, she's so scary. Doesn't have a nose. Like, what?
So, you know what that makes me think of? It makes me think of the crazy shit kids will come up with. The things that they'll tell themselves to get out of doing whatever the fuck it is they don't want to do.
Yeah.
I always remember the house that you have to walk by to go from the elementary school to go to my house, and
just the one on the left.
The one on the left. Trail? Yeah. And the stories the girls used to come up with about the guy that lived there, just used to be crazy. Like this is way before technology even nearly had the power to do this. I mean, at least in my opinion, I don't actually know, but this would have been like early 2000s, late 90s.
Like we graduated high school in 2010, so.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been before that, like.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
12.
At least 5 years before that, so 2005 and before.
Totally. So I remember one of the girls used to say stuff about that. He had, like, a camera that could look, like, through fabric and through clothing and everything, and
I feel like I remember this story, and like, it was all like...
Something I think weird about the cat as well. I think some used to make up stories about the cat, but... Yeah, and I always just remember having this weird vibe about it, and I think I used to have to deliver papers to his house.
Yeah.
And I think I did it, but it kind of broke down the barrier for me of being like, I thought that it was super weird because I had heard all these stories about who this guy was and the things that he does, which I really had no proof or any idea.
Yeah, nobody did. They were just like, man, this guy's scary.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a scary looking fence, so I mean...
Yeah.
It was like all decrepit and falling down.
You just didn't care, right? But, yeah, and so it's just weird that, like, the things that kids will tell themselves when they approach a situation that they don't like, especially as kids, because kids are so fearless. Kids don't have that fear yet. You haven't had to, like, you don't have that, like, ability to, like, analyze situations properly and be like, this isn't safe, I don't like this, unless you're, like, really in a threatening situation generally.
Yeah.
And so when a kid tells themselves that feeling and they're like, I don't like this, I'm not doing it, whether it be like, I mean, we're talking about paper routes right now, so I mean, certain houses and stuff, they give you weird vibes, like, it's crazy the things that kids will come up with just to, like, convince themselves to not do something.
I had, like, almost the opposite, though, at the same time, because I also had the Hells Angels Clubhouse on my paper route. So, it was like, and I just found it, like, they were super nice. All of them, they were super nice to me when I was there.
Totally.
Like, they'd be like, hey man, do you want a can of Coke? Like, you look kind of tired or whatever. And stuff. And I'm like, no. And I'm just like, go, because like, you're told, like, don't talk to them, they're scary people, like, they're bad people.
Totally.
But like, they were all super nice.
My understanding of them and of, I think, a lot of gangs in
like
general
really nice
is...
kids kind of thing.
Well, they're nice to you unless they have a reason not to be.
Yeah,
right? They don't treat just the general public like shit.
Yeah.
It's, if you owe us money, we're treating you like shit, Or if you've done something to wrong somebody that we know or that we're affiliated with, then we're treating you like shit.
Yeah, otherwise it's like whatever.
Yeah, like, they're not
you're the kid who delivers our paper. We're not going to be dicks.
No, they're not going to be, like, teasing you shit. They want their paper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if they didn't want the paper, they wouldn't order it.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
It's like straight up. So
yeah.
I think that's a general thing there.
I'm gonna read this.
Okay.
I'm gonna get back into this game real quick. You can leave it on expert. It's cool.
Oh, Jimmy, step. Oh, I can't even.
Right.
No, okay. Average 1, 2, 3.
Abe high, hollow cheat each her. 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 Abe high, a high school teacher? A biology teacher.
Oh.
Damn it! That's okay. I knew it wasn't high school, but it sounded close. That's okay. I knew it was a teacher.
I hated biology.
Really? No, I hated biology too. I hated cutting stuff up.
My teacher was really nice. Well, no, I didn't do that kind of biology, I guess. I don't remember.
I had to do it in grade 9 and grade 10. Grade 9 we had to do a fish. Grade 10 we had to do a sheep eye.
I think I remember doing that.
Yeah.
We went to different schools, but I think we were in the same district, so it was like the same curriculum.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I just did not like it. I didn't take biology after grade 10. Because that's like...
I took it in 11. Well, because like I think for us it was science 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's just generic like biology, like a little bit of biology, a little bit of chemistry, a little bit of physics, and then grade 11 and 12, you can go into the specialty of whatever it might be, chemistry, biology, physics, and
earth science.
I think to graduate you had to do A science
Yeah,
in grade 11. In grade 11.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did biology.
Nice.
And I'm so grateful that I did because, and I think 11 is on plants and sea life, and then 12 is on like the human body.
Oh, okay.
And so I did 11, and my teacher, I can't remember her name for the life of me, but she was super chill, and I basically cheated on every test. It was literally
so did John.
It was literally like you could
not John Sketcher.
Have
Jonathan.
Papers on your desk. Like she would walk by, or she would she puts the test out.
Mm-hmm.
You're allowed to sit there and look at your papers for the test and like prepare for it, and then she would come by and she would be like, "Okay, are you starting your test?" And you would be like, "Yeah." Okay, and flip the papers over, and so your study papers are right there. They're on the desk, and like she would like be like, "Okay, like flip your study papers over so they're face down."
Yeah.
And then the whole time you're just like looking, like peeking at them and looking at them. Totally. I would like pull one down and put it in my lap.
Yeah.
And so like there's still like papers there, and it looks like I haven't done anything. But then there's one sitting face up, and I'm like looking at it, pretending to write. Like literally, like just like she made it so easy.
That's so funny.
And I think part of her knew, but part of her didn't care.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was in grade 12. Like I was just trying to graduate at that point.
I just want to be done.
Yeah, and I think I ended up getting like a 60 or something. Like just scraped by. Okay, everybody, we're back. We just had a little bit of technical difficulties with camera batteries, I guess I should say actually. So we don't know how long things are gonna last. It's getting late, so we just wanted to come back, wrap things up,
stories,
talk
or whatever,
a quick couple
happens.
more minutes.
Honestly, I almost feel like we should call this Drunkcast 2.0 High School Recap.
High school, we did talk a lot
because that's
about
all we really
childhood.
talked, like childhood, high school, like that's
a lot about our experience. I think that's natural because of our existing relationship, and that's where a lot of our time together comes from. You know, and I think a lot of what we do now, it happens because of everything
we've done together before.
Everything that we've done together in the past.
Yeah.
So I think it's only natural that we talk about these things, especially everybody hears us talking pretty vaguely about some of this stuff, right?
Yeah, we're always kind of like alluding to different things we've done, but we never really like say too much about it.
Exactly. So, and I know some people that we did grow up with, or that we went to school with, or that we were friends with, or our family will listen to this. So, you know, they'll...
Sorry, Mom, I know you knew everything already anyways.
They'll understand the context and everything.
Yeah.
So I think that's totally chill. Do we want to talk about Tuesday? Do we wanna
Tuesday?
Yeah.
No, you know what? I think we'll leave that, and we can talk about it on Tuesday.
On Tuesday?
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll do a thing for Tuesday. Your Tuke's Inside Out, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
Is it Inside Out?
It is.
It is totally Inside Out. Cool. That's hilarious. I took it off for a little bit there. Didn't even look at it.
Oh man, like just I'm really enjoying like reminiscing about like the good old days in high school, if you want to call them that.
Man, the stuff we used
just
to
like
do.
the stuff we did. I kind of want to get like the whole like Park Avenue crew together and kind of do like.
It'd be such a mess.
It would be such a mess. I just kind of want to like hang out with everybody again.
Lots of those people won't even communicate with each other anymore.
No, I know.
I think overall, like, I'm one of the people who I think is still friends with, like, who can still communicate with everybody on a decent level.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm at with that.
Because I know, like, you had a relationship with one of them.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good now.
Yeah.
I think.
You know, but I know
Yeah.
between certain guys and girls, because that's the thing is, we were all in elementary school, and
Oh,
we were
yeah,
all
there's-
very
yeah.
close friends.
Yeah.
And then even into high school, we were all very close friends. And then it was the later years of high school where some of us dated.
Yeah.
And we
like,
shouldn't have.
It's like the friend situation where stuff just goes wrong.
Totally. It totally was. And it was,
Yeah.
I would think it's safe to say it's a mistake. I know it tore some people up. And some people have never let it go.
Yeah.
And I know that some people, like, it's just, like, tarnished that friendship forever and they're never going to speak again. I've been in situations where I've almost where like I went home for a little while and communicated with some of the girls, and it was like, oh yeah, like let's meet up, let's have some drinks tonight or whatever, and catch up, and try to invite other people and try to get other people involved.
Yeah.
And there was just no way that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so but I think for the most part, like everybody would be down. It's just hard to get everybody together.
Everybody's
in different
is
cities now.
Yeah, we're all like different.
Everybody's doing different
stuff.
It just happens when you get older, right? Like
I mean, like one person's not even in the same country. Not even on the same continent, technically. If I'm not wrong, if John's still in South America.
Oh yes,
yeah.
I was thinking. I was like, who are we talking about? Like, had no idea.
Yeah, no, like John's not even on the same continent.
I don't know. Is Central America part of North America or South America?
I don't know.
Because it's not its own continent.
No, it's not.
It's like.
I thought he was in like South America though, or he's in Central.
No, I think it's Central.
I think Central would probably be North America.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Central America.
I honestly don't know where he is.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah, he's moving around a lot, so it's hard to say. But
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Your tickle fancy for the week, Jimmy?
Cold side of the pillow.
Cold side of the pillows. We talked about that.
Or if you have the money, that $100 always cold pillow, that would be amazing.
I wouldn't like that.
What, really?
No.
I would love that.
No.
I hate when you're like trying to fall asleep and it's like warm pillow and you're like, fuck, and you flip it over and you've already done that like 5 minutes ago and that side's warm and you're just like, this is the worst.
See,
I just got a warm pillow.
I go to sleep and I sleep for 9 hours straight till I wake up. Or whatever it is my alarm is set for. And then I wake up and that's
crazy.
That's like my sleep experience. Like I don't wake up and like in the middle of my sleep and I sleep straight through. No, I don't at all. So my tickle fancy.
Yeah.
For the week, Jimmy.
Yeah. Somebody tickle your fancy.
Yeah.
Something tickle your fancy.
Do you want to know what?
Yeah. What is it?
You.
Me?
Yeah. This is awesome. I just love the fact that we were able to get together.
Dude, I love hanging out with you. It's so
you know, because we talk so much. You know, we talked about in the recent episode.
My girlfriend actually gets a little jealous with the amount we talk.
Yeah.
I mean, but
mine doesn't. Mine's pretty chill. My girlfriend's like so chill. The fact like we haven't seen each other in 2 weeks. Well, no, not right now, but like it happens so often where we go like 2-3 weeks without seeing each other, and she's like, "Do you want to do something this day?" I'm like, "I gotta record the podcast." She's like, "Okay."
Yeah, I mean, I don't think my girlfriend like fully gets jealous, but she does like sometimes just like makes jokes that were like really gay lovers that were just like,
oh totally, I totally
like whatever it's fine.
I totally cracked a joke the other day when Olivia was here.
Yeah.
And it was around Josh and her. And I said something about them poking fun at our bromance, and I was just like trying to make fun of me, like I don't care, like it is what it is.
Yeah, sometimes I'm just like, I'm gonna go text my boyfriend real quick. I'm like, she's already making fun of me. I might as well just go with it.
Totally, it's one of those things you own it.
Yeah,
and then you can't be made fun of for it, right?
It's
like you own the bad nickname when you're in school.
Yeah,
and then it doesn't hurt anymore, right?
Exactly.
You've taken the power out of the hurtful words.
Like episode 14, for example, where I explained my most embarrassing moment ever.
Telling it helps alleviate the pain of it.
I was actually on my way driving here. I like had this like moment where I was like, I told my most embarrassing story the other day, and it's on the internet forever.
Forever.
Because I forgot.
We can pull it down actually.
Well,
but it's downloaded probably.
Here's the thing though. Google, they have servers all over the world.
Yeah.
Each one of those servers downloads your content.
Oh.
So you can't get rid of it.
It's there forever. Ever.
Yeah, so because our stuff's Googleable, I love that word.
Googleable. Googleable.
Yeah.
Googly.
Or searchable if you don't want to use Google. Yeah, you can't get rid of it. It's there forever.
That's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's cool. There's a few on the island actually. A few of the servers. I think there's 2. but they bury them kind of thing. They're like cloud servers.
Crazy.
They're crazy. Google's crazy.
Google's crazy.
Google's gonna take over the world.
Totally. I've heard crazy things about Google in the past.
Man, I heard like some crazy theories about Google.
I didn't use Google Chrome for the longest time because I heard like all these like rumors about it, and then eventually I just said fuck it, and now I don't think I can ever go back to Safari or Firefox.
Hey, here's the thing. I love Google, and I've honestly given.
You have a Google phone, right?
I have a Google phone. I have a Chromebook, which doesn't currently work because I spilled beer on it.
So
it still works, but there's no backlight.
Doesn't
so I can't
work
see the screen.
To a cause of your own fault.
Yeah.
Not to Google making a crappy product.
The thing is though, like I poured beer on it, and it still works. Just the backlight of the screen doesn't work.
Shout out to Google for making
like
water.
Some badass stuff.
Product.
Right? But yeah, I love Google, and honestly, they could be like Big Brother or whatever, Skynet, whatever kind of theory you want to go with. I don't care. I love their stuff so much. I'm like, I've given my life to Google. They have everything.
Fan loyalty is an interesting thing.
It is. I've just decided, Apple, like, if they take over, like, cool.
Apple is another brand that has that loyalty to it, right? And I didn't understand it for the longest time. I remember my grandpa had a Mac, and he didn't get one until I was maybe in my teenager years. And my grandpa was the one that I learned a lot of my computer stuff from as a kid.
Yeah.
I would watch him work on the computer because he's an accountant and use them, and I was super intrigued by it because he was. I mean, I don't remember exactly what he was doing at the time, but it seemed like really advanced work.
Yeah.
Because when I was young, and then when he got a Mac, I remember looking at the interface of it and the format, the layout, and thinking, that's super weird. It seemed super foreign. I didn't like it. So, till I was, 18, 19, 20, I just was like, nah, like, Mac is way too weird. And then as I got into the world of music and I went to school, and I just became totally more exposed to Apple and Apple products and iPhones, and I think in these recent years, say in the past like 8 years or whatever, Apple's just like broke through like
they're
immensely.
Definitely seen more as like the creative like computer.
Yeah, and well, what's weird is because now being a part of that industry and part of that community is. It seems that way from an outside perspective, and it's becoming less and less that way. It has been that way, but it's becoming less and less that way. What's happening is they went from what was like their flagship DAW for music production, Logic 9, and then they went to Logic X. And they have GarageBand, which is like the free version, right? And then you have Logic 9. And Logic 9 was like an industry standard. It was the one... I guess, competitor with Pro Tools, developed by Avid. And then what happened is they released Logic 10, and Logic 10 basically took Logic 9 and dumbed it down a little bit to make kind of like GarageBand, but it's still a step up from GarageBand. And they did the same thing with like their video editors and stuff like that. So they're kind of dumbing it down to make more consumer friendly.
That makes sense.
And a lot of the commercial users and professional users are kind of befuddled by it, and like you see kind of some of the weird decisions that they're making with their new laptops, their MacBooks. They're just they're going in a weird direction with it that doesn't make a lot of sense to some of the professional users.
If you look at their new iPhone that doesn't even have a headphone jack, they're going in weird places.
Totally, they're pushing boundaries though, and that's they're always innovative, and and I think it's for those exact reasons. Like if you look 15 years ago and you saw some of the things Steve Jobs was doing or whoever, these innovative creators, you would have looked at them then and been like, that makes no sense. Why are you doing that? Like you're not benefiting your company in any way, or you're not benefiting the people. And then obviously you fast forward 15 years and look where they are.
Yeah.
And now the same thing is happening, but I think some people have the narrow mind and they can't kind of see past that. Obviously, technology is just getting better.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, like, all of my headphones at home, they're Bluetooth headphones. That's what I have.
Really?
Like, not like earbuds. I don't have Bluetooth earbuds. Ashley has had like 4 or 5 pairs of earbuds laying around, and I just use those when I'm using earbuds. But yeah, I have like the PlayStation headphones. They're Bluetooth, so I use them for the laptop, PlayStation, or my computer because they have USB plug-in. And I also have a pair of like Philips Bluetooth headphones that I connect to my phone.
Right.
So I don't actually need a headphone jack.
Totally. And it's becoming more and more common.
You don't need one.
Right.
But the point is, like, right now, everybody's like, oh, they don't have it, but just buy some Bluetooth headphones.
Yeah. The argument there is, again, that's going more towards a consumer-friendly product as opposed to a professional, because the reason that we still use microphones with cables is because you can't get a quality signal through a wireless transmitter as good as you can through a cable.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, for this kind of stuff, like recording and everything, you want the wired stuff, you want everything to be top-notch. When I'm listening to music, I just want to have noise, basically.
And that's a common thing, right?
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about the difference between like a WAV format and an MP3 format. People are so accustomed to hearing an MP3 format. If you show someone an MP3 format, a song, and compare it to a WAV format, they probably can't tell the difference. And that's just the way of the world now, because people are so adjusted to it, myself included, even though I listen for those things, right?
Yeah.
So it is something that is just becoming more and more the norm.
Yeah.
But is it for the better? I don't know. There's a lot of arguments in there. This is stuff that I talk about all the time with coworkers and friends, because it's just like, that's the world I live in. So getting away from that, I wanted to say thank you, Jimmy, for being here. Thank you for making the drive down. Thank you for coming to visit me. As I said, it makes my day. It made my week. I was excited for this moment.
So was I, man. I just
wanted to get through the weekend. Like, I worked all weekend. I just wanted to get over it.
So did I. I was working the weekend. Oh my god, my work week of 3 days was so busy. I was just like, oh my god, it's all going to be worth it when I'm done.
Totally.
So I can just leave Kamloops and go hang out with Taylor. Yeah, I know, I'm checking the time.
No, that's cool.
And yeah, so it's sweet that like we get to hang out and actually like see each other and stuff. So.
Yeah, cool. So we're going to come back in a couple days and we're going to talk to everybody. We just want to say thank you, everybody, for listening. This episode was a little unorthodox. We are recording in my living room as opposed to my studio and over the internet. So it's a lot of fun. So thank you, everybody, for listening to the Roots of Life podcast. I hope we figure out the video for this episode so that
I hope it's still going.
Yeah,
we did have a battery problem. There is a red light on, I think, so.
Well, hopefully. Either way, thank you, everybody, for listening to the Roots of Life podcast. You can go check us out at rootsoflifepodcast.com. You can hit us up at rootsoflifepodcast@gmail.com, Roots of Life Pod on Twitter, any other Roots of Life podcast on any other channel. To communicate with us, reach out to us, tell us you like us, tell us you hate us, tell Jimmy he looks beautiful.
Tell Taylor he is a fucking beauty.
There we go. You heard it here first, folks. Don't tell my girlfriend.
Mine either. We're also looking for more artists of the week as well, if you would like to be the artist of the week. We have a few more coming up for the next few weeks, but we do need a few more. So if you'd like to be an artist featured on our podcast, let us know. Send us an email at rootsoflifepodcast@gmail.com. What we need from you is your social media handles, an MP3 of whichever song you choose, and then at least 3 pictures of yourself. That's it.
Anything that you want shared with the world about your art and your creative life, share it with us, tell it with us, send it to us, and we will do our best to share it with the world, because that's what we want to do.
We just want to make everyone's creative, productive lifestyle easier. We want to share these things with everyone.
Totally. So, thank you everybody for listening. Jimmy, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, brother. I look forward to the next couple of days. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
Alright, everybody. Thank you for listening. We
Stay
will
weird.
be with you soon. Thank you. Taylor and Jimmy, signing off.
Peace.